Have you ever heard a whisper with no source? A voice that chills your spine in the dead of night? Tonight we embark on a shadowy journey through 10 terrifying tales, each more spine-chilling than the last. From ghostly apparitions to unexplainable phenomena, these stories are carefully crafted to draw you deeper into a world where the line between the real and the surreal blurs. Each narrative is a step further into the abyss of fear. Prepare yourself as we step into the eerie silence of the whispering woods. Imagine driving on a foggy night and a figure appears by the roadside. A lone driver, weary from the road, spots a shadowy silhouette. It's a woman, her thumb jutting out for a ride. Despite the chill that runs down his spine, he stops. She slides into the back seat, her presence filling the car with a palpable silence. They drive in quiet, the only sound the hum of the engine and the soft patter of rain against the windshield. She directs him down a lonely path, her voice a mere whisper. As they reach a dimly lit street, the driver turns to ask if she's close to home, only to find the back seat empty, her presence replaced by a lingering cold. In the local town, they whisper of a woman long gone, who travels the road searching for her way home. Next time you drive alone, watch the rearview mirror closely. You might not be alone. A face at a window is normal, but what if it's the third floor with no balcony? Imagine moving into a quaint, seemingly serene, old house, draped in the charm of yesteryear but holding secrets within its walls. This was the reality for the Harrows, a family eager to start fresh in what appeared to be a dream home. Not long after settling in, their young son, Ethan, began to complain. Every night, as the house creaked and settled into the silence of darkness, he saw a face peering in through his bedroom window. A pale, emotionless visage. It watched him without blinking, without moving, just observing. His parents reassured him it was just a trick of the light or perhaps a reflection, but Ethan was certain. It was too real, too terrifying. The chilling part? Ethan's room was on the third floor, the window overlooking a sheer drop, with no possible way for anyone to perch outside. The face seemed to belong to no one, and yet it was there every night. Remember, some watchers do more than just observe. Dolls mimic humans, but what if one aged as we do? In the shadowy corners of an old antique store, a doll with porcelain skin and glassy eyes awaited its next owner. Its previous one, an elderly lady, whispered of its peculiar nature before she passed. Unperturbed, the new owner, a young woman named Eliza, was drawn to its timeless charm and brought it home. At first, the doll was merely a quaint addition to her collection. However, as days slipped into weeks, Eliza noticed unsettling changes. The once smooth and rosy cheeks of the doll began to wrinkle, its golden curls thinned and grayed, and the sparkle in its eyes dimmed. Frightened, Eliza researched the doll's origins and discovered it was once owned by a witch who cursed it to live through human lifespans, aging as its owners did. Each new owner reset the aging process, and now it was Eliza's turn. Beware of what antiques you bring into your home. Some carry ages of secrets. Mirrors reflect reality, but what happens when they start blinking? Imagine a serene, quiet room where a young woman named Eliza stands before her antique mirror. As she brushes her hair, a chill runs down her spine. She pauses, her eyes locked with her reflection. But something is unsettlingly wrong. Her reflection blinks, not mimicking her, but with a slow, deliberate motion that sends shivers down her spine. Days pass and the phenomenon grows more disturbing. Her reflection begins to smile slyly or frown, expressions Eliza never made. Whispers fill the room whenever she nears the mirror, but silence reigns once she steps away. Driven by a mix of fear and curiosity, Eliza decides to touch the mirror during one of these eerie moments. As her fingertips meet the cool glass, it ripples like the surface of a pond. She's pulled through in an instant, into a world where shadows move with intent and whispers have sources. The mirror, it turns out, was never just a mirror, but a gateway to another dimension, a darker, twisted version of her own world. Before you look into the mirror again, ask yourself if you're ready to meet what's on the other side. Footsteps above when you're the only one home. Can you explain that? Imagine lying in your bed, the world around you cloaked in the velvet of night. The house is silent, save for the unsettling creaks and moans that old houses often make. But then there's something else. Footsteps, distinct and deliberate. echoing from the attic right above you. This is the nightly ordeal of Jonathan Rivers, who spent countless evenings under the oppressive weight of these mysterious sounds. Each night, as the clock chimed midnight, the footsteps would begin, a slow, measured pace that would traverse back and forth above his bedroom. Driven by a mix of fear and frustration, Jonathan decided to investigate. Armed with a flashlight, he ascended into the attic only to find dust and old memories. No sign of any intruder or animal. But the footsteps did not cease. Instead, one chilling evening they grew bolder, descending the attic stairs. Jonathan, frozen by fear, could only listen as they approached, then inexplicably stopped just outside his door. Sometimes the things we hear are better left unexplored. A phone call at midnight is rarely good news, especially if it's from your own number. Imagine the chill running down your spine as the phone rings, piercing the silence of the night. Jenna, a young graphic designer, experienced this bizarre phenomenon. Curiosity mingled with fear, Jenna initially ignored the calls, dismissing them as a glitch. But as the nights progressed, her unease grew. One stormy night, with the wind howling like the whispers of the damned, she mustered the courage to answer. "Leave the house now," whispered a voice, unmistakably her own, yet laced with a desperation she had never heard before. The line went dead. Stunned, Jenna stood frozen, the ominous weight of her own warning echoing in her ears. Was it a premonition, a ghostly doppelganger, or something more sinister hacking into her digital life? In the digital age, be wary of who or what might reach out to you. Art can be captivating, but what if it literally captures you? Imagine a grand gallery, walls lined with masterpieces. Yet there's one painting that always seems off. It's a lush, eerie landscape, devoid of people, or so it seems at first glance. Enter our protagonist, a keen art collector, who upon finding this peculiar piece at an obscure auction, couldn't resist adding it to his collection. The painting, however, had other ideas. Each day, the collector noticed subtle changes. A shadow here, a figure there. It was as if the canvas was playing tricks on his mind. Friends visited and pointed out that the figures seemed to move, whispering secrets in the stillness of the night. But the collector shrugged it off, attributing it to the wine and the dim lighting of his study. Then, one chilling morning, the collector was nowhere to be found. His last known whereabouts? Near the painting. And there, in the once empty landscape, stood a new figure, eerily resembling him. Next time you admire a painting, make sure it isn't studying you back. Rooms don't breathe, but what if you closed the door and heard a sigh? Imagine stepping into a quaint guest room, the air thick with the musk of old wood and secrets. As the door clicks shut, a heavy breath fills the space, as if the room itself exhales in relief or perhaps dread. The guest, a weary traveler, feels the walls seem to pulse subtly, the shadows in the corners deepening, growing denser with each passing moment. A palpable tension hangs in the air, like the room is holding its breath, waiting. Curiosity piqued, the traveler discovers a faded journal hidden beneath the floorboards, its pages yellowed with age. It whispers of unspeakable acts, a crime concealed within these very walls decades ago. The room, it seems, remembers. It breathes in memory of the past, a silent sentinel to the horrors that once unfolded in its embrace. Night falls, and as the darkness deepens, so does the breathing. It's a reminder that some rooms keep their pasts alive, whispering old secrets through the stillness. Always listen to the whispers of a house. They tell its hidden truths. Waking up to a shadow looming at your bed's end isn't a pleasant awakening. Imagine, as the clock strikes 3, the witching hour, you stir from your slumber. There's a palpable thickness in the air, a heaviness that sinks into your very bones. You sense it before you see it. A presence, dark and dense, stationed silently at the foot of your bed. Night after night, the routine is the same. You open your eyes to the uninvited guest, a silhouette so stark against the moonlit room. It's shapeless yet distinct, a swirling mass of darkness with an almost human outline. You pull the covers a little closer, a vain shield against the cold dread that fills the room. Then, one restless night, the unimaginable happens. The shadow stirs, stretching taller, and a whisper cuts through the silence. It speaks a secret, a buried truth about your past that no one else could know. The voice, a hissing whisper, tells of deeds long forgotten, buried deep in your conscience. As the morning light creeps in, the shadow dissipates like mist, but the words linger, a chilling echo in your now hollow sanctuary. Remember, be mindful of the shadows, for they might be more than mere absence of light. As we dare to look back, let's recount the top 3 tales that may haunt your nights. First, we revisit the shadow at the end of the bed. Imagine waking up to a dark, formless figure watching silently from your footboard. Its presence is a chilling reminder that not all visitors announce themselves. Next, we shudder once more at the room that breathes. Walls closing in, a soft, sinister whisper with every inhale and exhale of the plaster. This story teaches us that solitude can sometimes be deceivingly loud. Finally, the midnight caller rings again in our ears. Each ring, a harbinger of doom, telling us that fate can call at the most unexpected hour. Sleep tight, and remember, some stories become more real the more you think about them. As we close the curtains on our chilling journey, we hope these tales have tingled your spine and tantalized your taste for the eerie and unexplained. If you've enjoyed wandering through these whispering woods of the weird with us, don't let the trail go cold here. Make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell, keeping the spirits of suspense and supernatural forever alive in your feed. Remember, every like awakens another tale, every subscription summons more specters, and with each notification, a new nightmare awaits. Stay haunted, stay curious, and until next time, may your nights be thrilling and your shadows ever mysterious. Keep watching, keep wondering, and keep those lights on, just in case.